spend a song. What's the plan? Bet I get it done. It's me, yeah, nigga.
Notoriety Sports Network. Built different.
What's good, boys?
What up?
What up?
Hey, I'm not trying to talk shit, but whoever that kid was, that shot that baseline fadeaway in the intro, I just wanted to know I could probably do it better.
I was like, is that Joe Johnson?
Yeah, I know, right?
I think that's Montrez from the group.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's Montrez with the group. Yeah. I was like, I said Montrez, and I was like, wait, they're gonna probably think I said Montrez Harrell, but he's way shorter than it.
Hey, I think we're gonna talk about him today.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Let's see.
What we got? The Southeast Division today?
Southeast Division. We got Orlando Magic, Atlanta Hawks, Miami Heat, Washington Wizards, and the Charlotte Hornets.
That division kind of excites me. That's a good division.
It is a really good division, especially it hasn't been that good in years past, but it's a lot deeper than it used to be.
I think there's gonna be like real basketball come out of there, because like Miami and Atlanta for sure playoff teams. Charlotte contending.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Washington should contend too.
They did last year, at least for the playing game.
I actually think they made it in. I think they did, and they lost.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
Yep.
Because everybody said
but you lost Westbrook, but you picked up Dinwiddie. So I still think they need a point guard. And I'm not quite sure what the hell Orlando's doing, because they got like 5 point guards.
That's true.
You know what Orlando reminds me of? It's like somebody who was really good at NBA 2K GM mode, and then somebody was like, oh shit, let's give him a job. And he just started getting the best name available players at any given time, and that's what that team is. He's got both of the Wagner brothers over there.
Or he just went by potential and not actual talent. They have so much potential if it all hits, but that's a big if.
It's like you got like 5 potential power forwards on that team. What the hell are you doing?
I'm a Jonathan Isaac truther, but
I'm with you.
Healthy.
I would try to ship him off just so I can make sure I had minutes for the other guys.
Yeah,
I mean, you got O'Keefe who barely played, so he's gonna want minutes. Wagner's gonna want those minutes. I think they got PJ Washington on that team now. No, he's still in Charlotte.
Yeah, he's still in Charlotte.
They got Mo Wagner, the big. I think they got Plumlee.
Bamba.
Mo Bamba. That team's big.
It's a big team. That's what John Hammond likes to do. Yeah, let's just start at the bottom. I'm guessing we all have the Magic last in this division.
I do.
Yeah, I do as well. I think Jalen Suggs is going to contribute right away, and that was a good pick for him. It was good that he fell to him. It might be the most tantalizing prospect that they've had in Orlando since Dwight, which isn't saying a ton since they haven't had any tantalizing prospects since Dwight. But yeah, I think he's a nice core to finally build upon, whether that's with Bamba or Isaac or whoever they decide to keep, or the Wagner brothers. They have more of a making than they have in years past.
I'm gonna tell you, I agree with you, but I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna break out in that whole group is RJ Hunter. Because I think he could really hoop, and he hasn't got a chance. He just sat in Denver. They didn't do anything with him. So if he gets a little bit of run, I think he's gonna look good.
Yeah, I mean, he's looked decent in his spotty minutes, but yeah, you're right. Maybe with some more consistent playing time, he could take off, and that's true for a lot of their guys. I mean, Markelle Fultz was looking pretty good before he got hurt last year. It's tough because if you think about best case, you have Fultz and then Suggs and then Wagner and then Isaac and then Bamba. That's a pretty athletic, fun team. I don't know how good it actually is, but when healthy, that's a good team. They're just never healthy.
Well, for one, they're not going to shoot the three very well. I'll tell you that. So I hope they get a lot of stuff at the rim.
I mean, Terrence Ross is probably their best three-point shooter.
Yeah, Terrence Ross or Cole Anthony.
Yeah, but other than those guys,
I mean, the little Wagner brother, I'd probably be confident in his shot. He's not too bad.
yeah, I mean, at least they have a window now, because for a while they were one of those teams that were fighting always for the eight seed with Aaron Gordon, Vukovic. So I think it was the right move to blow it up. You could argue if they got Wendell Carter Jr. too.
Oh yeah,
another big, but I think it was a right move to hit the reset, but you can't just always be hitting the reset. And it kind of feels like Orlando is always starting over every 5 years. They get to the 7 and 8 seed, then they start over, then they start over, and after a while, I mean, it's pretty sad watching a Magic home game how few fans there are. And I think after a while, it's just going to get worse and worse if they can't put a winner together.
I think they can never put a winner together because they can never get a good coach to go over there. I don't know why. Coaches just don't want to go over there.
What, Orlando? I mean,
Yeah.
To me, like, Orlando's that spot for, like, Disney World, and that's it. Like,
yeah, it's not even on the coast. How do you be a Florida team without beachfront?
Yeah, I mean, people didn't even want to go there for the bubble. Like, it was –
yeah,
it's just weird. Like, I don't know. I feel it's one of those markets that's very hard to, like, attract somebody to. And, I mean, like y'all said earlier, though, it doesn't help that they're in the lottery, like, every 4 or 5 years. It's like, nah.
They do the same thing that the Sacramento Kings do. I'm going to draft a big man, then a point. I'm going to draft a big man, and then a point. So now you're going 6 years in a row, and you got 6 players that are in each other's way. That's why they suck. You have to restart because you don't know where you're at.
Yeah, to their credit, I guess they always seem to be the 4th team in a 3-player draft or the 5th team in a 4-player draft. It always seems like they just are picking right after all the good players are unavailable. But then, yeah, they take redundant players. I do wonder if even if they moved west to Tampa, do you think that's more appealing to free agents and a more appealing market?
I don't think it's the market. I think it's the head office
organization.
Yeah, and the organization itself is like, you don't have a winner there. How can you get people to get behind you? You don't have, like, there's nothing to promote a winning culture there. You know what I mean?
It's tough because, I mean, you have places like, I always use Dallas, for instance. You have
But to that point, it's like you get rid of a coach with a ring, and you still bring in somebody with a ring. So you still have, like, a winning culture, you know?
Yeah. That's why I said, like, Dallas is one of those markets that should be a big market, but for some reason it's not. It can't attract people.
James told you why. Because that's a football town.
Well, yeah, I know that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like the same thing we said with Dallas would be the same thing would happen if they went to, like, Tampa. I feel like that team that they're already, I mean, they're big in hockey, they're big in football, their Tampa Bay team and baseball is doing good. So you're going to be the last team anybody cares about there.
But that's just the city's fault, because you have to blame the city of Orlando for that a little bit. Just imagine if you took Orlando as it was and dropped them in Seattle. They would probably still suck this year, but the next year it'd be different, because that city in itself has a style, has a culture, has a way of hooping. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that would rub off on the team.
I don't think vacation cities, if your city's known just for an attraction like Disney World, I think that's actually a negative, because, like, think about if, like, Hawaii had a team. Who's going to want to be in Hawaii, like, and go to an NBA game when you can go to the beach, go on a hike? You almost have to be like, LA is a good example. Like, yeah, there's a lot to do in LA, but there's also millions of people that can support 2 NBA teams. So Orlando's tough, because you go to Orlando and you're not like, oh, do you want to go Disney World or you want to go to the Magic game?
Yeah, you want to go see the Magic lose?
Yeah. No, I'm all right. I'll go see Mickey Mouse dribble up. I think, like, Orlando is one of those, like I say, I will always put Sacramento up there, Minnesota. It's just like, if there's teams that I feel need to be moved, those are teams that, like, the market is it's just like even if it's a bad game, like Rocket games are still fun to watch here. Like I'll still go be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to a Rockets game and then I'll go out and do something. You will not hear me be like, oh man, I want to go to a Minnesota Timberwolves game.
Yeah.
And then, spend my night. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's a good test of it. If you were on vacation in any of these NBA cities, would a game be on the top of your mind? And Orlando, it definitely would not. But then, like, even out here in Utah, it's like there's no other real major sports teams besides their MLS team. So it's like, yeah, let's go to a Jazz game. That would be fun. And then you go to – I mean, Sacramento is kind of similar too. It's in Cali, but not on the coast. There's nothing to do. I mean, Sacramento is like Orlando without Disney World.
I'm telling you, they're ran the same way too. Nobody knows what the hell's going on over there.
Oh man!
All right, so we all know who we don't like in the division. Who's your favorite?
Bottom the top. Ooh, this was tough. It was between obviously the two teams, but I think regular season wise, I still give the edge to Atlanta, just because they're youth, they're shooting. In the playoffs too, they have guys like Cam Reddish step up. They're deep.
I tell people they made that playoff run without their two best wings, Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. Imagine what they're like. They're gonna be legit. Like they'll look like last year's Phoenix Suns, but deeper.
Yeah, and I was wrong on Trae Young. I thought that was dumb when they traded Luka for him and all that, but he's proved me wrong. He's proved a lot of people wrong, and naturally, it kind of feels like this is the year he takes a step and adds even more to his game. He didn't have to go to the Olympics. He had a little bit of an off season. I could see Trae Young taking another leap, and if he does that, it's going to be scary for everyone else in this division.
I like Atlanta at the top myself, except I didn't think they were going to pay Collins all that money. I don't know if he was worth all that money.
I wonder if that's a future trade, because I agree that seems like a lot for him.
Look,
He's one of those spotty players though, because he gets hot and he can carry a team for a half. So I mean, dude can hoop. He's efficient too, and Capella's there. He led the league in rebound.
I'm here.
Capella fits that team well. I saw a dude rocking a Rockets Capella jersey the other day here.
Oh no!
I was like, what?
Yeah. I didn't even. He was playing on our team. I never bought that jersey.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird flex there. But I like Herter too. Herter looks pretty good. Like a lot of my Hawks are just watching them from the playoffs, but Herter can knock down buckets. They have so many guys who can shoot in the modern NBA. That's so.
I like Herter because he's like the most versatile guard on that team. He could play the 1, the 2, the 3, and he just whatever you need him to do.
Yeah,
because you got to give Bogdanovich minutes because you pay him so much.
And that's my favorite player on the team. Trae Young is amazing, but Bogdanovich, I don't know what it is. It's that swagger he has. Like he knows he's gonna make a shot, and I'm just like, all right.
They still got Danilo on that team too.
Yep.
He had some crazy shots in the playoffs. He was hitting some vintage fadeaway mid-range.
Yeah, but
Gallinari shots.
I don't like. I mean, I'm not a Gallo fan.
Well, and there's so many, as you mentioned, so many wings who are hurt that Gallo, I think, is a good trade piece because you got to give Cam, even though Cam was in trade rumors this offseason, I think you got to give Cam and Hunter their due.
So y'all have Atlanta at first?
Yeah.
Look, I'm just going to say now, Miami has Jimmy Butler, but I have Atlanta also at first. I had to make it
I don't even have Miami at number 2.
Whoa.
In the regular season, Charlotte is going to be in the second spot.
I think Miami's old.
No, but see, I think they'll
slow.
do good. Like I think they really will be right there with each other the whole time.
I couldn't go that far. I didn't have the cojones to do that. I
You tripping.
I love them at 2. I mean, and that's just because Jimmy Butler is a competitor. Spoelstra's a great coach. Kyle Lowry, I agree, he's older. I think he'd be more of a playoff contributor than a regular season guy. But
the problem is he can't be, because if you look at their roster today, they don't really have a backup point guard. So that means Jimmy Butler will pretty much be the point guard number 2. to run an offense to. Because to me, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, they're the interchangeable two.
I think Hero will be better. He had a bad year. Tyler Hero had a bad second year, but I think part of that was the expectations after his first year were so high. But he needs to bounce back. Robinson got paid. I wonder how that's going to affect him getting paid that much, and he's kind of just a role player.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Play.
I mean,
I just think the way that the Hornets are put together, they're made to play good in the regular season. Like they'll win games because they had good pickups to me. Kelly Oubre's on that team. He's going to be a starter. Yeah. So you probably have, but Melo, Hayward, Oubre at the 1, 2, 3, that's pretty tough.
I'm a big Melo fan though, so I mean I ain't mad at you.
And then you have the whole. You go back to Bayou City Boys episode 1. I was talking about JT Thor and Kai Jones, and guess what team they're on? Charlotte.
I mean, we're gonna see. They're young. I like them. They're
still got Scary Terry on that team.
They have a lot of. They've gotten better.
Okay, maybe that was stupid. Miami probably in theory should do better, but
I was like, they have a lot of talent. I think they're gonna run into that wall though, also of like young talent making mistakes and stuff still. So I'm gonna put Miami just above them a bit because I mean, you're gonna have Jimmy still, you're gonna have Kyle Lowry, you still have Eric Spoelstra over there. Like it's gonna be a little bit different now. But shit, if they play 1-on-1 and Charlotte beats them, I ain't gonna be surprised because I do feel Miami's gonna be one of those slow teams in the NBA.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the whole division. Aside from Orlando, like not including them, anybody in that division really can't beat anybody.
You don't think Orlando can beat them?
Huh? No, Orlando can't. But like Washington is put together. They have names on that team. They should compete.
Well, Orlando has names.
Yeah, no, not the same kind. There's a little bit of a discrepancy there.
Oh man.
Say what you want about it, but Kyle Kuzma got a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but between Charlotte and Miami, that's tough because I think you're right. In the playoffs, you take Miami in that series, I think any day. But in the regular season, I could see where you're going with Charlotte. I won't put them there quite yet. Bam's another guy who had a little bit of a downer every year compared to.
He had a terrible Olympics too.
Yeah,
he looked bad.
He looked bad in the playoffs in that sweep. He looked bad in the Olympics, and it'll be interesting to see what he kind of does because everyone loved Bam last year. He was the guy who's the next star, and now all of a sudden,
I think he'll look better on defense because PJ Tucker. If he plays with PJ stretched floor. PJ's going to guard the biggest man, like the post player. So Bam, in theory, should do well as a help defender and rebounder.
Yeah, they got PJ. He's another old guy. They got some older guys.
They got a bunch of old dudes too. It's like everybody's talking about the Lakers retiring.
They got 4 senior citizens, 2 white boys, and bam.
Well, it's Florida.
I know the retirement state. It's like that's why I said like they made the right moves though. I mean, they got Kyle Lowry. That's smart. You got PJ. I'm not mad at their moves, but I do feel that they're going to be slow. Like,
how big of an upgrade do you think Lowry is from Dragic at this point?
Dragic, Lowry's gonna learn. Lowry knows how to use those shooters. Like Duncan and Tyler and PJ, they'll benefit from playing with him. And they didn't work that way with Dragic.
It's funny because like in Houston, we had both of them at the same time, so we saw them like mature and grow. And I kept up with both of them, and I mean, I like both of them, trust me. But I do feel Kyle Lowry's not a major upgrade, but I do feel he's a slight upgrade.
All I'm gonna say is there's a reason that Kyle Lowry has a ring and Dragic don't.
Why?
Because he's a better player.
He is. I agree. Yeah, I mean, Lowry is.
Let's be honest. Dragic is a small 2 guard. He's Manu Ginobili minus 2.5 inches.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think it will move the needle once again more in the playoffs too, where Lowry's tried and true. While Lowry doesn't have the best playoff numbers historically, just having that experience will only help. And I feel like he's a good match with Butler too.
I can tell you this: from all the shenanigans that you'll see from Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker and Jimmy Butler, if you watch a Miami game, expect it to be long. It'll be like watching Pat Bev times 3.
Yeah.
It'll be a drawn out, slow experience, and then contrast that with Charlotte, which will be a high action moving.
No, that kind of game would be on TV, and you'd watch it against somebody like Milwaukee, and Giannis is gonna have a terrible free throw shooting night. You're like, oh, this shit is boring. Somebody put an Orlando game on.
Orlando versus Sacramento.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. No, but Charlotte's going to be interesting. I think Gordon Hayward, his health is going to be important too. He really was playing well before he got hurt again, and he brings that veteran presence to that team, at least the starting unit. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see how Hayward does because he's just been getting hurt each and every year. So his return will be big for that team. And then also LaMelo's how he progresses too. Second year, some guys take a slight step back, other guys make a leap. So
I think he's going to do better. He's arrogant, but he don't realize it, and that's what's going to do well for him. Like, he plays like loose because he knows he's good, and he'll be fine.
That confidence,
and they know how they're going to play. That's why they brought Ish Smith in there to be the backup. They're like, no, we're running. We're running the whole day.
That's a name.
Yeah,
I've always been a big Ish fan. That's a good backup point guard that Miami could use. Someone just like that. He's not going to do anything special. He'll get like 5 points, 6 assists, but he leads the second unit.
I'm thinking this. Is Miami stupid for paying Duncan Robinson all that money and letting Kendrick Nunn leave?
Yeah.
I think so too. Mm-hmm. I think I'd rather have Kendrick Nunn.
Shooting is valuable, don't get me wrong, and Duncan's a good shooter, but that's about it. Like he's terrified to drive. When he does drive, it's awkward and ugly, and then he throws it up or gets blocked.
But in all fairness, that's how Kyle Korver used to be. And the day he decided to just go put the ball down 2 times and go up, whatever happens, happens. And that's when he got way better. I
feel with Miami, though, you have 2 guys, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero. You should have utilized trading one, I feel. Because it's going to come down to at some point. I mean, unless you think those are your 2 building blocks for the future.
They could have tricked the Rockets. He could have been a Rocket for James Harden if they didn't want to let him go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's dumb. It's like it don't make sense to me. It's like I get that. I mean, because what happens was you were so high on them, you didn't want to sell them, and then I mean, let's be honest, almost all 3 of them, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Duncan Robinson had worse seasons than the year before. So now you're looking with egg on your face, like, oh man, I hope they can come back and at least produce somewhat what they were doing. Because if not, it's gonna remind me of like when Chandler Parsons left the Rockets and he thought he was like a next superstar, and we were just like bye, and he got paid.
All fairness to them, it's like James said earlier, Bam had a terrible year, and he was the energy when he protected the rim, rebound, and pushed the ball forward. They did their job. I'm running to the 3-point line to shoot it, or I'm going to fill a lane and just go up. And they didn't get that opportunity.
I mean, and it's weird how also I want to say nobody talked about – I mean, everybody was very picky this playoffs on who to watch. I know, like, a lot of us were watching, of course, Ben Simmons. We were watching James Harden, But nobody said anything about Jimmy Butler's terrible play in the playoffs. Like, he did terrible. Like I haven't seen him play that bad in a while. And
I think part of it was because it got swept. I think because it was so quick that people may have mentioned it for a day, and then the playoffs kept moving on. It was almost a benefit of getting swept. Was hit that.
They played Milwaukee in the first round, and they knew, like everybody else, there's not a chance. We don't have a chance.
That was very bad.
And they showed up that way.
People were picking them. People were like, Jimmy. There was that picture of Jimmy Butler in the gym flexing, and people were like, "Oh man, Milwaukee, you're in for it. He's ready." I was like, "Ready for what? Get his broom out or what the hell?" Like,
Giannis, if I remember correctly, like that first game, he shot terrible. It was something like 3 for 21 or something.
That was an ugly game. The Bucks offense wasn't doing anything. and it took that Middleton shot to win it. And then the next 3 games were basically blowouts. So that was the game Miami had to win. But speaking of Milwaukee, Duncan kind of reminds me of Pat Connaughton, who I used to not be very high on as a Bucks fan. But this playoff run, he did exactly what he needed to do.
I
But
would
if
agree.
they paid him $70 million, I'd be a little pissed off.
I was about to ask that.
I don't think that. I think McConnington's more athletic. He offers you more on defense, and I don't think Duncan ever does that.
Duncan Robinson.
Offensively, you're right. Like they play the same way. We're moving off screens. We're getting to the open spots to get the ball. Yes, I do agree with that. But I'll take McConnington. He got a ring. There's a reason that they were there because they lost DiVincenzo and he stepped in. It was like, I got this.
Yep. Yeah. Would you take Connaughton as like 25 million or Robinson at a 70? When good point. Robinson's not hustling on defense, getting his face cut. Pat Connaughton got so many like cuts and punches in the face these playoffs.
But it's like they say, people pay for shooting.
Sai goes, McConnell is best defender of all time according to NBA 2K22. I saw that video and that was ridiculous.
Is that
Boy
true?
was locking down people like if he was like freaking Gary Payton and shit. It was dumb. I feel man, I just feel like he's like a young Doug McDermott. Like I feel like
he is Duncan. But the thing about it is he's so big. Like people don't realize that he's like 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah. I don't know. I think they overpaid him to stay there. Like,
no, it's like he said with John Collins, they'll trade him.
Shit, they better because I mean you get stuck with. I mean, there's in all honesty, there's no bad contract in the NBA. Like,
bro, that's Pat Riley. He don't have bad contracts.
That's what I'm saying. Though, but
it's not bad.
Huh?
John
Wall contract's bad.
I mean, that's probably one of the worst contracts you could have, but I'm sure you could still trade it. If you wanted to throw a pickup in that mug, somebody would be like, you know what, I got you. Look at OKC, bro. OKC gets everything, bro. They got like 1,000 picks, bro.
And they suck.
No, their point guard said he's the black Steve Nash.
Who's their point guard? Gilgeous-Alexander?
Yeah, he said, I'm the black Steve Nash of this league.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to hold you to that, bro.
They say it's Stoudemire.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And everything else.
I don't know. I don't know what Washington's going to do either. I think.
So where do you have Washington? 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had them 4th.
They have good players on that team, though. I don't know what they're going to do with them all, but they got good players.
I almost wanted to put them 5th, honestly, and that was just because if the going gets tough early on, Beal's unhappy, there's always that chance he gets traded, they blow it up.
Yeah, but I think you should still do good. You have decent players on that team. I want to know what Dinwiddie's going to do. Because if Dinwiddie plays good, that team's going to be right there with Charlotte and Miami.
Bertans isn't bad either. He gets a lot of crap because they paid him a lot, but
who?
Knockdown shooter David Bertans.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
but if they were confident in him, it's like, what do? You brought in Kuzma, a 3-4. You already had Rui Hachimura, a 4. You brought in Montrezl Harrell, a 4. Gafford played good all last year. He got to get minutes. You'll get Thomas Bryant back. That's the 5th big man. So what do you do?
I feel they just got pieces to trade later. I feel but I honestly feel like, man, they're that team that just likes to be stuck in like
I'm
9th, 10th place. Like,
I'm pretty sure they're also who drafted Corey Kispert, aren't they? From Gonzaga?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they just still need a point guard, unless they have one I don't know about.
Well, Dinwiddie says he's the next point guard.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I'll see it.
I mean, that's what he says.
Don't get me wrong, he could hoop. He's a good basketball player, but you're not a point guard. You're a scoring guard.
That might be tough with Beal if he's not more of a point guard because, Beal's going to get his 30 a game. And that's what really keeps them in that fight for the playing game is Beal just being able to get his game after game. Losing Westbrook usually helps teams, honestly. We've seen historically because other guys step up and ball movement gets better and shot selection gets better. But I don't know about this case. and it's to your point about having a point guard. Westbrook, for all of his faults, was a point guard. He got the ball to other people, whether it's to pad his stats or whatever. And he also he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league. So losing that drive, I could really hurt this team. And then Beal could be looking around, and it's dangerous. This team has one of the lower floors of the division, just for all the what ifs, and if there's a trade, if hopefully not if Beal gets hurt, then there's a lot of scenarios where this team could really fall apart. More than there's scenarios that this team could be.
It depends. Like I said, it's all up to Dinwiddie. Does he go from being like a scoring guard to like a real point, like how Brogdon did, or do you try to just wing it like Monte Ellis used to, and the team sucks, but I got amazing numbers?
Oh man,
That's another shout out. They got one last week.
Oh, he's been working out.
To do what?
He worked out. I don't know what somebody. They worked out him. They worked out Jalen. Not Jalen Green. They worked out Gerald Green. They worked out Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas needs to go to China and be a legend, like Marbury, because he will.
I think he still got something in the tank. I don't mean not for my team, but
no disrespect, he could score on anybody, and everybody's gonna score on him. He's a liability on defense.
There are gonna be some of these teams that need scoring.
Washington ain't gonna be one of them.
Nah, I mean, Orlando might need help scoring a little bit. They got some nice pieces over there, though. But I mean,
what are you gonna do? Add the smallest player in the league to a team full of point guards?
Yes, might as well. Cleveland has 20 centers.
I don't know. I have faith in Bradley Beal, so I know they'll do better than Orlando. Bradley Beal's that good.
They need to trade him, and they need to get him. I know he says he doesn't want to be traded. I know he says that, but I feel he is a guy that deserves to go to a real playoff contending team, not a 9th, 10th in the Eastern Conference playing like
that. I just have a feeling if they trade him, he's going to end up somewhere he don't want to be.
I was gonna say that. What happens if you switch him out with like CJ McCollum?
No, that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. But what if he goes to Minnesota?
I would literally say I'm sitting out like
feeling cat.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude,
what if he went to like freaking Sacramento?
I don't think the Wizards would do that. I think that those are teams you trade a star who's not loyal to you, but Beal's been very loyal, says all the right things. I don't think they're going to give him that treatment where they trade him to – it was like the Paul George thing. He wanted to go to LA, and they're like, all right, and they traded him to OKC. That's what you do when they demand a trade, but when they're being nice about it, I think they'll work with him and get him to a good spot like Portland. I think Portland would be awesome. And then if they get McCollum back, I mean, McCollum's not young. He's almost 30. So I don't know if the Wizards would want an older player back if they're rebuilding, but McCollum would be a good stopgap to have until you hit the reset button.
Again, that would be another thing I would try to make happen if I was the Spurs. I'd trade DeJounte and somebody else for Beal.
Honestly, like some of these teams, like imagine if you were like to make a trade for like a Bradley Beal and then you go and get another one. Like you can have a nice little squad if you put them together, right? There's only a few teams that can do that. I'm still saying Boston, you need to go make a damn trade for somebody. But other teams that want to make trades in the NBA can make some nice trades. Bradley Beal needs to get out of purgatory of Washington. He's been loyal enough.
Will he get traded this year? What do you think? Yes or no?
Yes.
During the season?
Yes.
I think he gets traded at the deadline somewhere.
Let me tell you where I want him to go the most. The New York Knickerbockers.
Hey, I'd actually like that.
Well, I was going to say who they have to trade, but you could throw in like RJ Barrett.
And they have picks. You have Emmanuel Quickly on that bench. He's young. Quickly, probably Obi Toppin, some picks. Because Obi Toppin's not going to get run with Randall ball hogging like that.
Dang, that would be nice. You're going to see over there, Derrick Rose over there passing to Bradley Beal.
Kemba, Bradley Beal, Julius Randle, Mitchell.
That would be good because that's the one thing we saw in the playoffs that they were missing is a go-to scorer. they were relying on like Reggie Bullock and other guys to try to get points.
The only thing that might prevent that from happening is the Knicks gave Evan Fournier way too much money.
Yeah, they paid that boy like they're like, man, he's balling right now for his team in France.
The only reason that I can think that, like, if we want a conspiracy theory, that whole situation is so they can match dollars in a Bradley Beal trade.
I mean, I would if they were like, hey, we'll take Evan Fournier, like I'd in a heartbeat be like, hey, trade, come on, let's go.
Fournier, RJ Barrett.
Oh no, it'd probably be like Fournier, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, and a couple second-round picks or a first and a second or something. Because you got to think about it. If you're getting Quickly and you're getting Toppin, you're getting two 21-year-olds with 2 years experience. So that's as good as a pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually don't see many like.
And not only that, they both balled out at Summer League. So, and Emmanuel Quickly played pretty good in the playoffs.
So let's say Bradley Beal goes to New York. Where would you rank them in the East then?
I think they were like top. They were going to range somewhere between 3 and 7 anyway, and they're still going to be there.
If they get Beal, yeah, I think they'd be closer to 4.
Yeah, I don't think immediately off the rip that makes them better than Atlanta. They're definitely about better than Brooklyn or Milwaukee.
Yeah, no.
That don't make them better than Philly. So they'll still be like 4, 5,
Philly,
6.
Philly got their own problems, bro. I know we're not talking about that division, bro. That news station over there in Philly, bro, is eating that boy up alive, bro. He wants out of there, bro. They don't have
choice.
Bro, they had a dumpster flying down the road, bro, and they're like, Ben Simmons leaving Philadelphia, bro. On the news, I was like, bro, they're cold-blooded. But
even if you sit him out and you don't play him, he don't show up, that team is still good.
Oh, yeah, I know that. But that means Tabo's got to be number 2. Good luck, bro. Because we talked about it last time. Tabo will be playing hide and go seek sometimes.
Yeah, but you still got Tobias. You got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He goes hide and go seek, though.
You got Curry Twin. They signed DeAndre Drummond or Andre Drummond. That team's big as hell, bro.
We'll see. Man.
So basically, back in the Southeast.
Yeah, I know. So basically, we're all rooting for Bradley Beal to get traded.
Yeah, we know who the top 3 teams are of this one. I mean,
how many playoff teams?
I say 3.
Not counting the playing games.
No.
2 for sure. I think Charlotte gets a playing game. They could beat anybody that they're there with. So 2 for sure.
3, 4.
Yeah, I agree because I think Charlotte's almost locked into like that.
It's like you said, they're gonna be good. They'll be better. They were playoff game last year. A playing game, I think.
Any chance there's 4 teams from this division? There were last year, counting the playing game.
I could see a Washington versus like Charlotte.
Don't get it wrong. Washington's not going to be a scrub because like Montrez is like I sat there and watched that shit all last year. I'm ready to come hoop. And
that boy get no play.
All those big men that Washington are there. I'm telling you, like Gafford, Thomas Bryant, they're like, no, bro, earn your spot. And what do you do with Kuzma? He can't look stupid. He's got to go hoop.
He's got a ball, bro. He's got a ball. Like I feel Kuzma is like, I always say the broke man Ben Simmons right now. Like all the memes, all the jokes, like no, because bro, on the internet they are going in on this boy, like especially once he went Slim Shady with his hair, bro. Like it was done. Like you were asking for like people to come at you, bro. So I feel he just, like you said, he has to come out and just straight start balling. Like
people hate on Kuzma because he caused himself to be looked at as overrated. It's like you played overconfident and you did it on the Lakers.
I think the worst thing that happened to him was being drafted by the Lakers. If he got drafted by the Jazz or the T-Wolves or
but can you really say that? Because he already got a good contract extension and a ring. So
well, I mean, yeah, but everybody's gonna. I mean, if you're, I feel for longevity, he should have not want to go to the Lakers. Yeah, you
But
got your ring, bro.
let's keep it real. Would you rather play 15 years of a mediocre career or 8 years and say, hey, drafted by the Lakers, I played with LeBron, I got a ring, and
But
I got the money.
how is that a fair statement though? You said mediocre. Like, what happens if he does better now because he's not with LeBron and them? Like,
No, he's not the mediocre one. He's the 8-year one. Because if Kuzma doesn't do good, then he'll play this contract out, and then he'll be like a 1-year player for the rest of his career if people keep picking him up.
but I feel if he went to another team besides the Lakers, they would have learned how to use him, and you wouldn't have been dependent on, oh, I'm on the Lakers, I'm in the big city now, this and that.
But that's the thing, is you can't use him because he's not a skillful player. He's an athlete.
I mean, there's some athletes right now making bank.
But I don't have to try to figure out how to use the athlete. You just have to fit in.
Vince Carter was an athlete, and this boy played on
skill.
Yes, but I'm saying there's broke man athletes in this league, bro. Zion Williams literally just dunks the ball, bro.
True that.
This boy has shoe deals and everything. The people
but he has a
like,
good drop step. He has a good drop step. He knows how to use his body, so there is skill there that he's worked on.
And that's what I said.
Kuzma takes fadeaway threes from the corner.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Though. I feel like if you were to go, like what James said, if you were to have gone to a different team to actually work. I mean, Julius Randle was on the Lakers, and now look at him. He's balling out in New York.
Because he was a first-round draft pick. Kyle Kuzma was a second-round draft pick.
I'm not saying I'm on the Kyle Kuzma team, but I'm saying like if I'm gonna play on Washington and then I'm gonna be out of the league, I would have rather gone and been a good role player.
He is
been in there. But I'm saying, yeah, but no, now you're a bad role player. Nobody wants you on the like, bro. He was thinking he was going to Sacramento and they traded him within like a second. Bro, he was happy to go to Sacramento. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like,
because he knew he could try to be the man. He wasn't. We all know that, but he was gonna try. But basically, what I'm trying to say is you don't take the time to develop a player like Kuzma, like his name is Brandon Ingram. There's a reason that he didn't go in that trade.
Shit, tell that to some of these teams, bro. They be having some dudes. They be thinking it's the next Michael Jordan out there.
What do you think the best rookie in this division is going to be?
The best rookie in this division is going to be Kai Jones, center from the University of Texas, playing for Charlotte. He's the one that dunked over Kenneth Faried in the Summer League.
I like Kai. I like Book Knight, too, from also on Charlotte. So Charlotte,
hey, don't forget, Atlanta drafted Sharif.
Nah. I don't know who Miami got. They have much.
I don't know why we're saying that. The best rookie is going to be Suggs.
I'm going to get Franz Wagner from Orlando. I think he has a lot of playing time.
It's going to be Suggs, best rookie.
Suggs is very mature for his age. I think he's going to go in there and stabilize things. So, yeah.
It's almost one of those things where if he looks at it in like 2 or 3 years, he could be like, damn, I really am glad Scotty Barnes got drafted to Toronto instead of me.
And that's what I was gonna say too. Like Orlando is probably so happy. Like, wait, y'all got Scotty Barnes? All right, bet, because he fell right into their lap. Like,
yeah, that was crazy. Not many mocks have that. Everyone had Suggs going to Toronto, replace Kyle Lowry.
I was just as shocked as he was.
We were live on here. Like, what the? And then you just look at the TV and everybody's like, I didn't even have this on my board at all. Like,
but that's what shook the draft up. It's like everybody thought everything was predictable up to that point. But when they did that, they're like, oh shit, now we got to be real GMs and decide who we're going to take.
I mean,
yeah, Orlando lucked into that one, and they've had bad lottery luck as we mentioned earlier. So that was good. Good for them.
If you're Orlando, do you already give up on, or do you start finding a way from underneath Bamba and Isaac?
I like Bamba and Isaac, but
I don't like Bamba.
You want to be honest about Bamba? How I feel? I feel like he's gonna be like a Siakam kind of player. Like,
no, I don't. The problem with Bamba is he has skill, he has size. He's gonna gain more weight. He don't play mean enough. It's like you're reactionary to everything you do. You initiate nothing, and you can't do that as a big man in this league.
You have to get mean.
That's why 6'9" dudes like Bam come and pick on you because you're weak. You're playing weak. That's always the problem with Rudy Gobert. Is that you're a good help defender. You play good in the regular season, but when I want to grind, you don't.
You can be a nice person off the court and then be an animal mean on the court, and that switch is what separates the good from the bad. Like you saw with Giannis when he was younger in his career, he's a very nice, humble individual, but when he got that nasty mean mug and he started playing like he wanted to kill everyone on the court, it really changed his trajectory. And you're right about Bamba. He's like one of those guys who plays pickup and is like content with taking 3-pointers, but you're like, dude, you're 7'2" with a 9-foot wingspan, get in the paint. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then
at the very least, he should be like Clint Capella on steroids. Like he should be a turned up Capella, but he's just not that.
And he's not even as big as Capella. He's just lanky. So
yeah, but still, it's like you can go you have the range. You just go protect the rim, rebound, box out, bro. There's no reason point guard should be boxing you out.
I think this year, Bamba already has been written off, but he's like 22, 23, and he was playing behind Vukovic most of his career. I'd like to see him a full year as a starting center with Jalen.
I can't give you full of like devote so many minutes to you because Wendell Carter's not bad. He's a good player.
Shit, if he's not lucky enough, he's gonna lose his minutes to Robin Lopez.
That's what I'm saying. Do you start finding something for Bamba if you have Wendell Carter? They're about the same age.
And that's what I feel like. I feel like some of these teams, though, they hold on to those pieces too much. It's like on well, what happens to do? No, dude, like you see them every day. So if we're watching them and we're like, nah, this is kind of, a little questionary. This dude ain't going to pan out. You see them every day. Why aren't you on the phone like, look, hey, we have enough. Let's trade him off beforehand. And it's like what we do in like fantasy football. Like you kind of know those ticking time bombs are there. You're just like, I'm going to trade him this guy because in 5 weeks, he's going to be bad. And you hand it off.
That people don't do that shit because they don't want to be known as like the Rockets used to. Like they don't. You're just a player. You know what I mean? It's like you don't mean nothing to them.
You're going to be like Trevor Ariza getting traded 4 or 5 times in one night. I mean, I get it, but it's a business, man. My goal as a GM is to look out for you, but also better my team. And it's like, if you're not paying, like, if we're winning, you're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Now, if you're losing and doing it, then, I mean, yeah, they're going to probably be mad at you. Like, damn, we suck and we can't do anything right.
Yeah, and to Zach's point, you do see these guys every day in the gym. You know what you have, unless you're lying to yourselves about what you have. But because you know what you have, pick the guys that you think are your future and start those guys. Like, I love Robin Lopez, but don't give him real minutes. He's just taking minutes away from your youth guys with his hook shots and his mop head. Trade Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez is a quality center. He's a quality backup center for a playoff team, but where the Magic are, they don't need a guy like that. I mean, yeah, he's a good locker room guy. Yeah, he loves Disney, so that's cool. But, like, if you think Bamba's your guy, play Bamba as a starter. If you think Wendell's your guy, play Wendell for a full season. And then if they suck, then, oh, well.
I think you can't take the risk of people finding out they suck, though, because you still have Mo Wagner on that team. You have like 2 or 3 backup centers on Orlando. So I'm going to try to trade Mo Bamba right now before people realize how bad he really does suck for a scoring guard or a 2-3, a wing player or something, you know?
There's just so much unknown about him. I don't even know what you could get for him now. Yeah, there is risk, though, that his value just goes even lower if he sucks. But at
that point, then you'll end up trading to somebody like Boston for nothing. You know what I mean? Boston will be like, hey, I'll give you Romeo Langford for Mo Bamba. Okay, let's do it. And he'll go to Boston and do real well, you know?
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, that's the problem, though. You don't know if they're going to – and it would suck, too, because –
No, I guarantee you if you put Mo Bamba on a team like Boston, he would look good. Orlando is part of the problem. It's the team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say, though. Like, people, though, like, will leave a bad culture organization and then they start to ball out because it changes. The culture is different. Like, I mean, like what I always use the Rockets, for instance. If a big man comes here, you automatically get to work out with Akeem Olajuwon. You get to pick his brain. You get people.
I feel like Orlando has no reference. Like James said earlier, like how long has it been since they had somebody to build?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You go to Boston and they're gonna break out film from 2 years ago. You say, you see Robert Williams, you see what Tristan Thompson does. Do that shit. That's what I need you to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying though. I mean, I get why they don't want to trade him, but you can't. It comes down to your ownership. It comes down to your coaching. Shit, half the time, man, they don't even know who their coach is. They keep switching them out, and it's just like there's no structure there. And you want these young guys to learn not only basketball, but then they're also having to learn the on the road stuff, the culture of it, the media. It's like you have nobody older that can come in and talk to these guys. Really,
yeah.
Who do you get? Penny Hardaway only. I mean,
that's like his Shaq got himself traded. Dwight got himself traded. Yeah. Grant Hill got hurt. Like their franchise cornerstones, like don't associate with them much anymore. Besides, Penny Hardaway.
I think T-Mac does some stuff.
Welcome, Diego. Welcome. Sup, man? How bad, guys? T-Mac.
Yeah,
I see him a lot over here.
He is, but I think he does some stuff with Orlando.
Like it's kind of sad. Like at least like Sacramento, you got Chris Webber. You got Peja Stojakovic, Mike Bibby. You got dudes that you can be like, oh, okay, well, I can't think of anybody in Orlando that was like, yeah, I could, they could go back to this guy.
But still, like, they don't have to be Orlando winning culture. Like, you can bring other people in. Like, if you insist on, like, not – if you can't get a super big name, then give somebody good – give Sam Cassell a chance to coach a team. Watch what happens. Like, that dude can coach. He can lead.
I agree, but – I don't run that team. I'm all for getting.
If you have a team full of point guards, I damn sure want a point guard to coach it.
And I think, like for a small market, they need that. They need that person that can come in, change that culture, and then be like, "Look, we have this guy here. Come and play with him because he understands you and he understands the culture." But for some reason, you get these teams that are like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go."
Who is their coach?
Their coach right now. Who was?
They just got a new coach.
Yeah, they got a new one.
They had Clifford, and Clifford's the coach you want if you want to be the 8th seed, and players hate him. But then they
Jamal Mosley is their coach.
Was he from Dallas?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah,
I think Luka liked him, and Luka was mad when he left.
He played college for the Colorado Buffaloes.
But that's not a guy who's going to bring people to the arena or excite people. He could be a good coach. He could turn out to be a really good coach, but
people don't realize how much that matters. And I'm going to give you an example. Like yesterday, I was watching when AJ Hinch used to manage the Astros. When we had a good inning, we would cheer for about 3 innings in a row. Last night, we scored 7 runs in 1 inning, and the bench was like, whatever. Like, the coach was just like, I'm going to shake your hand on the way by, and that's it. You don't need that in Orlando no more. You need a coach that's rah-rah,
Yeah. Like, once the culture changes, like, to winning, it reminds me of the Lakers back in the day. When you watch those videos and they win, like, the Western Conference, and they're all just, like, stone-faced, like, we don't care about this. But it's because their culture is winning.
Right.
But when you're trying to build the culture, like I said, you need like that young guy coming in like, hey, it's all good, man. We got this and that. Like it's different. And I feel like there's teams that are tanking that have the right coaches for them. And then I feel that there's teams that are just like Orlando that they don't even know what they want yet. They're trying to, it's like you got the young coach for the rebuild, but you're not rebuilding. And then when you're going to rebuild, for some reason, you go get Stan Van Gundy type stuff. And it's like, oh, what are you doing? Like, they don't match up well, like, at all. Like, so, I mean, I guess you did well by getting somebody that mainly maybe understands these young guys coming in. But I don't know, that team there.
I mean, as Rockets fans, we really can't criticize because we did the same thing. We took a Dallas coach off their bench and put it on our.
Yeah, but this dude has credentials with Curry, like, backing him up and Luka backing him up. And I mean, who this guy's credentials are? I don't. He was assistant for Cleveland Cavaliers without LeBron, and then they went to Dallas.
Yeah, apparently Luka liked him. But yeah, kind of to your point, Nick, if you're going to be bad for 2 years anyway, why not have a guy like this? Give him some chops, see how he does, and if he doesn't do well, but your team's getting better, you can always just move on. Like it's kind of like how the Bucks did Larry Drew dirty. He won 15 games that year. It wasn't really his fault. They had no one on that team yet, and then they fired him, brought in Jason Kidd, and then fired Kidd, got Budenholzer. So it's really, if you're rebuilding, it's not like you're going to convince a big name coach to come coach you. But yeah, they could have got a guy like Sam Cassell, though. I don't think Sam Cassell would have turned down a head coaching job. There's only 30 jobs. It's not like there's a plethora of jobs you can just go to. So yeah, I think people would take Orlando.
I mean, think about it. Chauncey just got a job in Portland. I don't know if I don't know if he's the coach for that spot.
We're gonna find out real fast.
He's gonna find out real fast.
Because we've already know where we're ranking that team in the West, so it's like
one of my favorite players. I don't know. I'm rooting for the Hornets this year, though. I think they're fun to watch.
All right. So to recap,
I got Atlanta, Miami, Charlotte, Washington, Orlando.
Yeah, I have the same.
I got Orlando, Washington. No, just kidding. Yeah, it's about the same thing. I can't. I'm gonna keep Miami above Charlotte for now. I think the veteran mindsets are gonna help them a bit more, but I won't be surprised if the one-on-one matches if Charlotte beats them.
I really feel like Miami's still gonna have periods in a game where they have trouble scoring.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Duncan Robinson still. I'm not a fan of Tyler Hero still. I don't think they're going to take – they went from here to here in the bubble, and then they came even lower than they were. So now you have to come back and at least elevate to where you were at. I mean –
I think for them to do that, then Jimmy Butler needs to quit that I'll turn it on later in the game. He needs to be like Zach LaVine. He's like, no, I'm going to do it every time the opportunity presents itself.
I don't know if he could do that anymore, bro. He getting up there.
He is getting up there, but yeah, I still got Miami second over Charlotte. I could actually see a world where Orlando finishes fourth, and that would be a Bradley Beal trade, Bradley Beal injury, and that. Even when I said that, it sounded wrong. Yeah, it would take more of the Orlando guys to be healthy. Everything falls into place. Yeah, so it would take a lot.
I forgot they had Gordon Hayward over there in Charlotte.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna start Melo, Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington.
They got some squad members over here. Okay.
They drafted Kai Jones. They drafted TJ Thor. They still got Scary Terry. They kept one of them, the Martin twins. They cut the other one.
Yeah. They got Cody Martin.
Twins.
Yeah.
Mason.
Phoenix.
They did lose Devontae Graham, though. He went to the Pelicans.
That team there. Don't even get me started with that team. That's another team that I put them with Orlando. You just have a better toy.
If you were Orlando, would you call the Pelicans and be like, send me Brandon Ingram and I'll give you any combination of players you want besides Suggs? I would do it.
I would do it, but then again, to me, it's like I don't even think they know what they're doing over there. So it's like I wouldn't even want to make a trade if I'm lost. Like Orlando looks lost, bro. Like you got Jalen Suggs. Yes, I'll give you that. You have some nice pieces, but I don't know what direction you're going. I don't know if you're not trying to compete in the East. Like, let's be honest with that shit. But you're not trying to be bad either. Like the Rockets are trying to get rid of John Wall and Eric Gordon so they can be bad and play good.
Yeah.
They're going to still lose, but at least we look good and we get nice picks. Orlando, to me, is like, man, maybe we can make, 10th seed. And it's like, for what? Like, why? Like, you have a window right now where you can maybe build for the future. Like in the next 5 years, when Brooklyn's torn apart and Boston finally makes a trade, but it's too late, and freaking Milwaukee,
all of Miami's starting lineups retired.
Yeah, they're retired back in the retirement home down the street, and like Milwaukee's having to figure out, okay, who we pair up with Giannis. You have a window now.
I mean, no disrespect. I just don't see Miami competing with the elite teams in the East. I really don't.
I think Atlanta is gonna run the floor off with them. Like Trae Young is gonna. Who the hell is gonna stop Trae Young over there? Ain't nobody.
Could any of these teams win the East?
No, I don't think so.
So
I would. Man, it would take Brooklyn would have to be injured. Chris Middleton would have to be like injured.
I mean, that's the thing is, they can beat any team. Like if you think about it, they'll beat if the guards for any of these teams, division teams, play good, they could beat Milwaukee. But Milwaukee's elite with the big men. Philly elite with the big men.
I don't think Atlanta could beat Philly in a series again. Well, Philly has a lot of question marks, but
I think the only closest team is Atlanta.
I think Miami in the playoffs might be a better, just with the veterans that they have.
I think Atlanta might do better too because they'll muck up the game. They want to play playoff basketball.
I think we're gonna see villain Trae Young this year. This boy everybody is mad at this dude. He's a villain. This boy is going straight up wrestling mode. Like, yeah, I'm the villain, and what's up? I think
if he feeds into all that, then the team's gonna suck. Like, just go hoop, bro. Just go play basketball.
This boy's a hooper, bro. Got ice in his veins, bro.
Yeah, but you can only concentrate on one thing at a time.
Well, I mean, it's off season right now, bro. You just gotta concentrate on working out and stuff, bro. But bro, every time when that boy was walking in those games,
I want to see Cam Reddish do well. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm a Cam Reddish fan.
Yeah, he looked good in some of those Milwaukee games.
In that last playoff game, it was like, damn, that might be a starting power forward in the East.
So it's gonna be interesting. This is like the very few time where the East is very competitive because you should be the straight West, and then you're like, oh yeah, we know who's in the East coming out.
So no one can win the East, we're saying, but could anyone win MVP in this division? You think it would have to be Trae, right?
Bradley Beal?
Nah, man. I'll go Trae Young. Bradley Beal ain't even sniffing MVP because the NBA goes way too much on.
Let's keep it real, bro. Trae's good, but he didn't average as many points as Beal.
Yeah, but the thing is, the NBA goes off of wins, bro. This ain't MLB. Freaking Mike Trout's on the shittiest team in baseball almost, and he wins MVP every year. MLB don't care about winning. NBA, they're like, oh nah, you won one less game. I'm gonna
except Westbrook.
Westbrook was different because you had triple double machines,
which no longer matters, I guess.
Yeah, that didn't matter. They were like, oh, he passed Oscar Robertson.
Other than that, no, I don't see any.
I mean, if Bradley Beal gets traded, if he's balling and then gets traded, oh yeah, I can see it.
No one on Miami.
No.
Tyler Hero. No, I was kidding.
No one on Orlando. So yeah, I think it's Young. Yeah. If Beal leads the Wizards to like the 4 seed somehow.
Oh, definitely. Give it to him.
Yeah.
Don't even vote on it. Just give it to him. Just walk into a game one day and just hand it to him.
Like, the thing about Bradley Beal is like we've seen James Harden put up stupid, crazy numbers for so long that you see Bradley Beal's games and they're only like, oh, he only had 35 last night. Who gives a shit about that? You know? Oh, it was only 37 the next night. That's nothing.
And pretty efficient too. It's not like he's.
Yeah, he ain't just chunking stuff up there. Yeah. This boy he can ball, man. I like watching Bradley Beal play. Like he's one of those guys.
See him get a chance to play while he's in his prime on a good team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll send him to Minnesota. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, it's somehow they could get a package together. Bradley Beal and Spider Mitchell on Utah wouldn't be bad.
That would be nice. I mean, Utah though has some nice weapons over there. Me being a Rockets fan, I don't like saying that. Vernon Maxwell, if you ever hear me, I'm sorry, bro, but they got some nice pieces over there. I think Dwayne Wade being over there, helping Mitchell out, that's a nice one.
That'll be a fun division to do that Northwest.
Yeah,
good division.
So I mean, This one though. So we all agree Bradley Beal gets traded almost. Or he should be the guy that gets traded at least out of this division.
But do you think anybody would be that desperate to do it?
Oh, man. I think it's going to come down to injuries.
Because if you're that good, like we talk about the teams we want him to go to, in theory, those teams should be pretty good. So if you're pretty good, do you blow a team up? I think Brooklyn did, but
Portland's not winning a title with their current core. I mean, Portland.
No.
Yeah. So they would be one almost a no-brainer if that became available.
Yeah, I feel it's going to be those teams like not Brooklyn, Portland Trailblazers, like a Dallas Mavericks, or somebody like that is not meeting up to their expectations that they had for themselves. I mean, because we know, like, being honest fans, we know, like, yeah, you ain't winning a championship, bro. Right. But these teams, they go in like, oh, we winning it this year. Yeah, no, you're not, bro. Portland, I'm sorry, you're not winning it. You're not getting close to it. Like, and so I feel those are those teams that are going to be like, dang, we're like 7th in the West right now. Or we're like, we're losing to like Charlotte. Like, what the hell? Like, we need to make a trade and go call up Bradley Beal's agent and be like, hey, what does it take, bro?
Yeah.
Damian Lillard needs help, bro. Like,
but that's the thing. Does Portland really have anything that Washington would want?
McCollum would be.
Yeah, but that's literally just a downgrade. That's all that is.
It would have to be some picks added on.
Picks, McCollum.
Maybe.
I wouldn't trade Powell.
No, but I would probably want
Anthony
Simmons.
You could maybe do like a 3-team trade then.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these trades end up being 3-4 teams anyway.
Yeah, teams
like you said, if you need a third person in a trade, just call Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Cleveland. Cleveland's been hopping on trades a lot.
Yeah, they got some big men. It's like those two teams are full of all the big men in the league. You're just like, okay, somebody's going to need a big man.
That's what they're stocking them for. Oh, 3-team trades? Oh, let me in.
Yep.
You need more cap money? All right, here you go.
If you'll get traded, Cleveland will be in on it. They'll trade one of their centers somewhere.
Hey, and I also think Orlando's going to do good. I can't pronounce his name, but there's that second-year center that plays for Orlando, came from USC. He can hoop.
They got a lot of potential in Orlando. It's just whether they can do anything with it.
The moral of the story is Cam Reddish for most improved player. I think that's what he can do.
Does Wagner have a brother?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. Mo Wagner
both are in Orlando.
And Franz Wagner.
I was literally looking at this and I'm like, dog, I am tripping. There's 2 of them.
There is 2 of them. One of them just got drafted from Michigan. He's pretty good. Think about when Franz Wagner in his prime, he will be like a Jonas Jerebko.
I ain't mad at that.
He'd be better.
Jonas Jerebko was a hoop. He could play.
All right, that's like me saying like I wanted Andre Karolinko on my team.
You should have.
I didn't. I hated Andre Karolinko.
I'm not a Jazz guy.
I hated him. I hated the whole Jazz team. But that was
I'll tell you this: he's the only person that I ever seen win a playoff series off of a flop. He legitimately won a playoff series by a flop. But aside from the 2 or 3 times it did happen, I seen the game where he almost put a quadruple double up. Dude was hooping.
No, he could hoop. I just didn't want him.
You know how much money he would make in the league today?
Oh man, this boy. There's players that we look at from back in the day, like you would be balling right now. Like this is your type of bat. You were too early for this era.
Do you know how much money Shane Battier would make if he was in his prime today?
Steve Novak.
Oh man,
Raja Bell.
Bro, I used to love Raja Bell, man.
Yeah.
Diaw, all them. Yeah,
I would have made more.
Let's see.
Turkoglu would have lit it up.
The Turkish Michael Jordan. Then here it goes. I know y'all do NFL draft, but do y'all do NBA draft? Yes, sir. We did it 5 hours. That was a mission. Anyway.
It was a mission.
It was fun though.
It was fun. Can't wait till next year.
That draft's gonna be fun. I mean, hopefully the Rockets are
nowhere near it.
I want another pick. Hey.
Nah, we need to take this year to open up some money.
Yeah. Well, get rid of that John Wall contract and we'll be good, bro.
And Eric Gordon. And then we can afford Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna get Cat, bro.
Can we get like a Kevin Durant on lease?
Lease him out for a little bit.
What'd you do if James Harden came back?
I think before his career's over, he will be a Rocket again.
That's
Really?
That's what a rumor I keep hearing is that he's gonna do that. Once they all kind of like break apart, he's gonna go back there. Durant's gonna end up in Seattle when they finally get a team.
What if he came back and was just like a 6-man?
I mean, shit. He's one of those dudes. Like I think this year, the city's kind of like over him already. Like,
yeah,
all right, bro, you're good. We got Jalen Green. You're good, bro. Like if he was to come in and be like, look, I'm working with little bro.
It made it even better that they didn't win a ring. That's why.
Yeah. I was actually rooting for him.
I was.
I want Beardy to get a ring, bro.
You got hurt on the first play of the series on a flop. You flopped.
He flopped all the time with us, and we didn't say nothing. Hey, I didn't say nothing.
He over-exaggerated on the first play of the game, bro.
I just feel like when it comes to flop, don't get me wrong, I get mad with it, but there's so many damn players that do it now. Like I feel like they teach it to you now. Like they're like, bro, you ain't flopping right, bro. Like get in the paint and don't take it, just flop it.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what Miami's gonna do a lot. Their shit's gonna be funny and boring. They're
gonna be on Shaq and a fool, man. That's what they're gonna be on.
Funny and boring, Miami Heat.
Yeah,
that's gonna be their motto. We're gonna make a picture of it.
If the San Antonio Spurs had a mentally retarded little brother, it would be the Miami Heat.
Gosh, dang. It's a good team, man. I'm thinking of like Miami. It's like after the Wade, after the big three, like there really ain't nothing there. Like Alonzo Mourning and
I mean, they just went to the finals. They did something.
I mean, I don't consider that. Even did they even show up there?
No, well, they went 6 games, but I'll say this: that game that Bam Adebayo won, where he blocked Jason Tatum at the rim, classic.
I just feel like if you don't even show up, you shouldn't even. They should literally have like a vacant sign on their thing in the bowl, bro. Like they played that bad.
Who, Boston?
No, Miami. Like that
They
felt
did good in the bubble. Them fools went to the finals to see the Lakers.
They saw the Lakers. They did that. They didn't play the Lakers.
Yeah, but they were overmanned anyway.
They actually were. Yeah, they're competitive in some of those Laker games.
That was the boringest games I've watched in a while.
Yeah, that was I didn't like the bubble. By the end of it was pretty.
I was done with it.
I'll say this: the bubble first round series, Utah and Denver.
Oh
yeah,
that was fun.
I can't wait for if what's his name Murray gets healthy to watch those two go at it again. There's some guys on this league. I want to see Jay Morant versus Trae Young. I want to see Murray versus Donovan Mitchell. Like
I want to see Memphis and Charlotte. I want to see Morant versus.
That would be good, man. Can you imagine like a Tatum versus Luka? Ooh,
yeah, that'd be a good one.
There's a lot of good matchups out there. There's a lot of fun, there's so many fun stars now.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that have good pieces. I'm not gonna say they're going in the right spot because I mean we have some guys that are just like, what the hell? Like I still don't. Minnesota will forever be that team. I'm just like, I don't know what the hell y'all doing though. I mean, Patrick Beverly did say though, every team he's been on has gone to the playoffs since he's been there. So he said he does not expect that to change in Minnesota.
We'll tell him to quit playing with superstars, and that would stop happening.
So he said that his streak is not going to be broken, that Minnesota is making the playoffs.
He probably had a good chance of that not happening until he opened his mouth. Every time he says something, the opposite happens.
Well, what happens if he takes them to 10th?
He ain't taking them nowhere.
He told Steph Curry, you had the last 5 years of my years now.
And then what? Curry got 3 rings?
Yes. I don't know. I don't ever see Minnesota. Like, if you were to tell me, like, Barrow, Minnesota's making the playoffs this year, I don't care if they had prime Michael Jordan over there. I ain't going to believe you right now.
No, I wouldn't believe you right now.
Like right now, I just can't. Like that team is like you have good players, but I just.
Do they really?
I mean, they got one. What was his name? Edwards.
Anthony Edwards?
Mm.
I mean, that's a Cat is I. I mean, he's.
No, I would keep Cat and Edwards, but I'd get rid of Russell. I don't like Russell.
I don't know. He's trash.
You know who he reminds me? He reminds me of like Jason Terry, but turned all the way up. Like, hey, go be even more selfish.
I like Jed, though. Jed had a good career. He knew how to become a role player.
That's what I'm saying. He knew when he had to be a bench player because he was best at just 2-dribble shooting, and you can't play offense in the NBA doing that, you know.
Mm-mm.
But I'm fine with it if you're coming off the bench doing it.
Yep, like Jordan
Clarkson, J.R. Smith, hell, Jamal Crawford.
They need to get that boy in the league, man.
Nah, I don't know if he can play defense in the league.
He needs to be. I need you. The one guy that I'm mad that has never got a payday is Lou Williams, still, man.
But it's the same is I already seen you for this many years not play defense,
Bro, but he hasn't got a pay. He hasn't got anything higher than like $9 million, bro.
that has nothing to do with your effort. It's like it's not even your effort. You're just so small. People don't respect you.
Bro, Lemon Pepper Lou can drop 30 points on you, bro.
He'll give you a 30-point game in every playoff series, but
yeah,
I mean, he's giving up 45, but that's not the point.
yeah. So it's plus minus.
It's like it's not the point though. Lemon Pepper Lou needs some love, man. Like
anybody who's willing to give up 6 quarters for $1 is a fool.
I mean, there's some teams out there though. I'm sure there's some teams out there. Shit, you got teams looking at Monte Ellis, bro. That was the most stingiest ball player I've seen in a while.
He was.
I hated watching the games with him and Kevin Martin going at each other.
But at the very least, Monte Ellis will shoot gaps. He'll try to get in passing lanes. He couldn't defend the ball, but he'll try to steal the ball.
He got quite a few steals a game.
Yeah.
When him and Brandon Jennings were together, man, that was a fun year.
It was worse than him and Curry together.
Oh man, that girl break her nose.
It looked like it.
Oh, I think she best her teeth up.
Good.
Oh, she's hot. What are you talking about, bro? I'm sorry, James. We're watching wrestling.
They're fake teeth anyway.
Oh my god, it's her nose. It's broken.
And so yeah, it's gonna be a pretty solid division. Young talent, old talent.
Trae Young for MVP.
Yeah, I think Orlando's gonna win, like we said.
Title or bust.
Yeah.
Hey, Sacramento, give a shout out. Only team to win Summer League championship twice in the league. Congrats again. I'm gonna give y'all congrats every year.
We just talked about them.
I know.
Sacramento has to make every show, even in.
I guess that's true.
I had a meme that I was gonna share one day, but we talk about it so much I didn't want to. I was gonna put a banner up with them that said like Summer League champions, but I was like, I'm gonna be good because they don't ever bother me.
I guarantee you that team, they figure out a way to trade Buddy Hield before Washington trades Beal.
Yeah, that's probably
if they let that happen. If Beal goes first, and Buddy Hield loses value to me. He might gain value though. Who knows?
He'll be the only guy on the market left.
No, I think that if Bill goes to a good team like the Knicks or something, and that makes a team like Portland desperate, they might give McCollum up for less than they should.
They said that first domino to fall.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Because if like McCollum or Buddy Hield goes first, and that just makes the value of Bradley Beal even more. I'm thinking. Bradley Beal to Boston.
Ugh.
He's like, I'm gonna say Bradley Beal to Portland. Just go with that.
I like that. I'll die on that hill. That'd be awesome.
I don't know. I don't think Boston ever makes trades. Those dudes there.
No.
They're even with Brad Stevens
about being able to, but they never do.
Yeah.
They're gonna waste their talent and then finally make a trade at the end and then be like, dude, it's too late.
I would make that trade right now. You want Jaylen Brown? I'll do that heads up.
Give me some stuff.
I'll get on that trade.
Oh man. All right, you got anything else to say, boys?
Orlando sleeper 12 seed.
God. Oh man. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Go follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. It's the end of the video, man. Go check out What's Poppin' Corn Snacks, man. Got the best popcorn. I do have a surprise. Probably next week we will probably be giving some popcorn out as a prize. So free popcorn to some fans. We'll let you know. That being said, man, y'all have a good weekend. And